160-2170. I'm in the area. I'll take care of it. Okay, so. Can you notify Hopeful for this? I think the driveway is obstructed, but they think it's to the main line. Maybe we just cut the power to the house.
From the town squares to the digital streets, we got one sacred right that nobody defeats. It's the fire in our veins, the roar in our soul, freedom of speech, making America whole. Listen up, brothers and sisters, gather round the flame. The First Amendment's calling, shouting out our name. Congress shall make no law. That's the promise we hold. No chains on our words, no stories left untold. Religion free to worship, no state telling you how. Assemble in the streets, petition right here and now. Press running wild and fearless, speaking truth to the throne. And every single voice gets to stand on its own. Freedom of speech, let it ring out loud and clear. The First Amendment standing tall year after year. We won't be silenced, we won't be muzzled or tamed. This Constitution's our shield, forever untamed. Yeah. From the mountains to the prairies, from sea to shining sea, we defend this sacred right. It's what sets us free. God bless the USA, where the truth can still be told. Freedom of speech, forever, bold, brave, and bold. Five pillars standing strong, holding up the sky. Religion, speech, press, assembly, petition. That's why no government boot on our neck, no overreach inside. The founders wrote it ironclad to keep the power right. They knew tyrants would come, try to twist and control. But these words in the parchment protect every soul. From the farmer in the field to the factory hand, your voice is your weapon across this blessed land. Freedom of speech, let it ring out loud and clear. The First Amendment standing tall year after year. We won't be silenced, we won't be muzzled or tamed. This Constitution's our shield, forever untamed. Yeah, yeah. From the mountains to the prairies, from sea to shining sea, we defend this sacred right. It's what sets us free. God bless the USA, where the truth can still be told. Freedom of speech, forever, bold, brave, and bold. They'll try to cancel, they'll try to shadow ban, label hate speech, but they don't understand. Big tech, big government colluding in the dark, but we got the First Amendment lighting up the spark. No law can gag the preacher, no rule can hush the crowd, no censor can drown the patriot shouting proud. This ain't just paper, it's blood, sweat, and fight. The heartbeat of liberty burning through the night. So raise your voice high when the storm winds blow. Defend the right to speak, let the whole world know. From Cape Coral shores to the Rockies peak, we guard this freedom, it's ours to keep. The Constitution stands like a rock in the stream, protecting us all from the tyrant's bad dream. No king, no committee, no elite decree can ever take away what makes us truly free. Freedom of speech, let it ring out loud and clear. The First Amendment standing tall year after year. We won't be silenced, we won't be muzzled or tamed. This Constitution's our shield, forever untamed. From the mountains to the prairies, from sea to shining sea, we defend this sacred right, it's what sets us free. God bless the USA, where the truth can still be told. Freedom of speech, forever, bold, brave, and bold. One more time. Freedom of speech, forever bold. Yeah. That's the sound of liberty ringing. First Amendment strong. America forever. God bless the USA.
All right. There we go, guys. We're back. This is going to be part two of tonight's show. We went on for 6 hours earlier. Over 6 hours, 6.5 hours, I think it was. And we met a lot of new friends in the chat room. And it's always good when something like this happens. I like to cover it out of our normal time slot. And we end up meeting a bunch of new people that had no idea that we were even here. So I think it was a success so far like that. And now we're here for our regular Sights and Sounds show. So welcome to my normal crowd that's just joining us now. And boom, just like that, we're up to 25. Best crowd ever. There you go. And there you go from Fort Smith. Thank you for being here. Deploribus and Kat and Lambert. And Dispatch, of course. Thank you for being here. Bill, Matt. So many folks in here. That high guy. I know that guy. And yeah, and License and all kinds of folks. So thank you everybody for being here. And thank you for helping to welcome these people so that, you know, maybe they'll feel like coming back. And that's partially on me and partially with you guys. Believe it or not. It takes a village. You know what I mean? All right. So tonight we are covering what's going on in Hawaii. We've got a number of roads closed. We've got a number of things going on, and we've got several feeds that have come back up online again. So the scanner feeds are all going to be on your left side, and then the right side I'll be using for other things. Let's see here. Let me turn this off, and then I can bring the scanner feeds up.
Company 6
Bravo, you can
reported during within the burn area. Hanoi, 49 mile marker. Engine 16, responsible for some smoldering in the burn area. Hanoi, area in the flood. Marker 1507. Anyway.
Have you got...
Company 16, respond to report of some smoldering within the burn area. Hanoi, 49 mile marker. Engine 16.
Okay, I gotta say something. Have you guys noticed that all the dispatchers are Valley girls from California? Hello, like engine 19, like there's a brush fire and it's like rekindled from earlier and it's on 4th Street. I don't know what's wrong, but people won't tell us. Just go out there and check. That's what I hear. I'm sorry. It's what I hear.
Company 16 will remain in quarter. Battalion 2 will go investigate.
Control copies. Company 16 will remain in quarters and Battalion 2 will investigate. I report there's just some smoke, no flames, approximately 1
It's Charlie.
from the highway.
Clear.
Tough.
Okay. We'll probably get a few
17901 megahertz. Okay, let me see what I can do.
Control copy.
Indeed, item number 1857201.
Over. 451, go ahead.
Joe 713, anything.
I spoke to the tenants here. They said they got in touch with help as well. It is low hanging, but vehicles can still pass under. I can talk to Kenny.
Thank you. The area investigation.
Control, Brett, 20 in quarters.
I have you on the call. How are you feeling, Susie?
Five, sir.
Go ahead. Hey, quarters.
680, 10
Wait.
Top call, DPW just showed up. Got as much as 1421. We could pass through.
That's at 17
6951.
meters.
So 1421, switching the code.
How far?
Never mind.
891.
Copy.
Yeah, that's just outside of
Helpful line
17
is fine.
meters.
Basically notify
So 1421.
House of 2 lines that's possibly damaged. Maintain.
Let me see if I can get it.
Central 1421, Trinity code. Puuloa, I was advised that there are about 76. There's another utility pole that's ready to come down.
Back to you, Chris. Fox 5, Charlie, Alpha, Charlie.
I don't have a call for that right now.
1441, I'm ready there now. One of the machines calling me, letting me know that for 76 there's a pole that's ready to go down. I got one of the machines calling me, letting me know that there's a pole that's ready to go down.
656.
Go ahead.
Guys, there's a utility pole and a tree down right next to each other right here, and
Charlie, you're off by Tango Charlie call. Wait. Tango Charlie call. Wait.
How far is it?
Yeah, the problem is that band is outside Ham.
each other right here, and
18. There's line crossing. Phone number 1243.
34660 highway.
Fine.
Fine. There is
Advise helpful.
static. We tried to call it back. We were just getting busy signals.
One turn in. Tango Charlie call. 38. 06951.
Anyway.
So post 12 mile marker. Responding.
Anyway. Control call.
Stop with that vehicle. Just up to Elliott Street, up to Pleasant Lake. Good time. Good time. I'm looking at a white.
I have no way of listening to that frequency because all of the web SDRs that I use, they're not letting me go down to that because it's actually below 17 meters.
It's only getting more volume sensitive, so it's only going to increase. It's only going to get irritated, and the cost will only decrease with this next generation vehicle. It might take a while for it to do so, but it will. And then on the other side, we're starting to see, companies like Florida, they've re-entered 6 capsules now to the point where it doesn't even make headlines.
No, I can't get that.
Before you take, Kauai.
Okay.
Thank you. Be here and there. 1421 to 1440. Watch out when you get my local call. Get a lot of on me here and there.
Sure.
Control from engine 5 Delta. I'm on the road, Plumeria Street, pole 18.
What appears in order? Residence is secure. Emergency destination, send me somewhere.
Advice, also not sending out any responses at this time.
You'll be heading Delta.
Yeah, you know what I found about kitties that don't like water? I've known 2 people now that used to bathe their cats on a fairly regular basis, and they got to where they didn't mind it. It's all just conditioning.
I got a Lori Santiago stating that there's a party there at the shelter, Mel 45.
It's kind of like traveling is the same way. All right, let's see if we can get an update from Fox Weather.
Hurricane force out at the airport up on the very northern point, 53. You see 63 down here because the mountains block the wind, and then it splits and goes around the mountain. So on either end of the island, that's where you get the strongest winds. Same thing here on Maui on either end. Look, 55, 48. This is very high just on the northern side of the volcano there. And here, this is up on Molokai, 55 miles an hour, again, elevated. On Oahu, 35 gusts at Honolulu, but of course, it's not really there yet. Here you can see on the radar, there is the center. It's getting kind of deformed, but also the radar is going to get kind of blocked by the mountain. So we're not getting a good view here. You can see that cone of silence out here where both of the radars are blocked by the mountain. So once the system gets over close to that, we're not really getting a super good view. The main takeaway here is look at this band coming in here, just pounding this part of Hawaii. So turns out that the heaviest rain with this system is in an area like this around Hilo, up the hill around Hilo. That's where the heaviest rainfall is being reported. Now, we've been talking about on the backside, see the circulation back here, kind of low pressure developing here, and how this is going to interact with that. It looks like this is going to slide by and just survive as a as a system. We were thinking that, and the Hurricane Center was talking about maybe a low over here taking over. It looks a little less likely, but the interaction with the mountain continues, and it's going to go on for another few hours. Once it gets over here, then it's going to get under less hospitable atmospheric conditions, more hostile upper level winds and so forth, and some drier air, and so it is forecast to weaken as a storm. So we're going to see that here. Here we have now Category 1 hurricane. There is where the hurricane force gusts are at the ocean. That means hurricane force sustained up the hill. Here we have tropical storm force winds at the ocean level, and hurricane force winds in some locations up the mountain. So this is pretty significant here, and it's moving forward. And here you see now we're at 9 p.m. this evening Hawaii time, overnight our time, Maui and Molokai, and letting up finally here in on the Big Island on the eastern slopes.
Bravo, can roll me over by ID number 9200.
Over.
33 Bravo.
Although the Kona Coast is going to get some pretty
I'll be heading up Molokai. I'll cover up there.
strong winds here overnight as well. And then moving forward, you see Oahu and Honolulu. That's in the early morning hours Hawaii time tomorrow, sort of peaks there then on the current schedule, and then moving on away. So by tomorrow night Hawaii time, the winds will be over, some lingering moisture into Monday, but no big deal. Trade winds, though, may cause some rain.
Requesting assistance at 1517.
So they should be able to function more or less normally on the eastern slope.
Completely out, not blinking or anything.
Control 9200 and 577.
We'll slow everybody down.
Can you start making checks for this?
Try and figure out what's happened, because I'm sure they're going to have roads washed out and difficulty getting.
Ohi, Ani, and Koloko Drive. Sorry, Ohi and Ani.
Address 681936 Waikoloa Road, 18. Engine 16, response to report of a high voltage pole.
To some of these locations, there are a lot of places in
Waikoloa Road, Engine 16,
Good afternoon.
of a high voltage
Towards the
base.
center, you're going to test with Caitlin.
Road.
They want to trespass a party. And
Morning issue.
Okay, to Charlie.
where there's one road in and one road out. If that road
Units, continue to head, please.
Copy. 41 Central, 10-7.
Okay.
9200 calling freighters. I'm giving you attention right now. Yeah, we're on the law right now.
island where there's one road in and one road out. If that road
I just the same way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just was kind of inquiring what
Okay.
this is going to provide us. Yeah. You guys can just bring some cones, maybe just to stop the roadway.
out or trees are down or whatever, you're not going anywhere.
Into the highway. I think when it gets dark tonight, no problem. You know, run right into it.
Area 74.
Affirmative, just south of the scenic point. Can you roll me over to my ID number? Copy that. My bay, and I'll send my rider with me.
10-4, sorry, the units is off.
Out or trees are down or whatever, you're not going anywhere.
Further notice there. Myself in 40 now. Out of service for safety reasons. 0476.
Copy, I'll put you in the
Copy that.
That's why they said they told residents there have two.
Central 10064. Central 30.
Can respond for us
Head over here.
and once
Take care of that alarm's call on my way down, and then I'll head to the telephone pole.
they can respond.
Weeks of supplies because they're isolated and there are a lot of potentially isolated places.
It's unsafe for us to go up there with the falling trees.
How far?
On those islands kind of up the hill.
How fast? After the 74 marker.
670, copy, thank you.
10472.
I don't know what's going on. I thought at first it was bandwidth coming out of Hawaii, but I'm starting to doubt that now.
They can respond for suicide location, address 1617.
Floating drive on 31st Ave, looks like flyer clear down. Helpful motherfucker, can send that to me.
The wrong location.
302700. I'm heading down right now. I will confirm it.
Go ahead. You can disregard
Responding.
the wrong location. It's the one that you guys were off.
Responding.
18, I'll be off for that.
Right at 74.
So far.
670, copy, thank you. 621, be off.
Central. Go ahead.
30, copy.
See what else you can turn on.
So far.
That's all, 663.
Go ahead.
Generally passing Lotus Blossom, still heading up Aloha.
You check from Kona to Sao Paulo boundary, 190. Road is clear, breezy with some strong gusts, light rain. Looks like the parks are closed, the gates are shut, and looks like the airport is closed. I don't see any commercial jets on the tarmac.
So far, thank you.
Central 1421.
Go ahead. Central 9200 and 8577.
Central 21, be off.
Copy.
14.
Maybe on 3 Central 53.
Copy. 14, if you can disregard that last, apparently the conditions are unsafe for you guys to head up there. If you guys can make checks, it's going to be Koloko and Hawaii Belt Road behind Matsuyamas. There's a tree limb that landed on the power line. Power line is on the ground with marking. Check only.
Units copy that one, and you can leave that 91 can info only.
Fire control, engine 16, plus truck 16 responding. 763 Charlie Central.
Engine 16, first truck 16.
Over to 639 Charlie, check sound heli for that low hanging wires. They are hanging low, but cars can. Kenny. 732 Charlie Central.
Trees not on the roadway anymore, but someone's on the power line where there's no operations you have.
Let me check sound heli for that low hanging wires. They are hanging low, but cars can pass through.
All right, guys, on the right ear, I'm going to put up the sights and sounds of the storm for the next few minutes.
Boulevard between Puuloa and Oahu, multiscreen, area address 286 Boulevard between Puuloa and
Can we check 190 by the 32.1? Off the side near the fire station, there's a tree leaning on the power line, no arcing. Looks like it's possibly going to break the line.
Offer check. Address 926 Boulevard between Puuloa area address 9286 Boulevard between Puuloa and
Finishing.
Green,
heavy over here. We got one lane open, but DPW is going to have to later time to finish it off. We're here for any other calls if needed.
Just 760. Now then, tracking your speed.
Okay.
Next one, copy. Responding from Fort Area.
Copy 920.
Torres, is that in the area? That's good.
Yeah, everybody, I'm doing fine tonight. The cats are all doing good. I've got the little one in here with me. I don't know where he went. Little one. Oh, well, I'll find him in a few minutes. But yeah, little Leonard is in here. He's one of my, one of the recent batch that I took in. The other one, his brother, I've named Bill. You know, Bill and Leonard. Bill Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. Anyway, I just this next weekend, Ted and Littles are going to be going up to Alabama to live with their mom, and that's Carlotta. So if you guys are interested in the two kitties, she will be broadcasting with them on a regular basis. She loves to broadcast what her kitties are doing. She's got just a nice little community channel, and you can go on there and give her a subscribe and keep tabs on your kitty cats. But that's Carlotta Alata, at Carlotta Alata, right here on YouTube. But she'll be getting the cats next week. She'll be getting them. I'll be going up in 6 days. It's coming up quick. I'm leaving Friday morning pre-dawn, and I'm driving all the way straight through to Alabama, about 11 hours, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to give her the cats, and I'm going to hang out, go to the Huntsville Ham Fest. We're going to do some live broadcasting. I'm going to do 2 shows with them, Friday and Saturday night. We're going to do shows with them. And then on Sunday night, I'm probably going to do the show in the car on the way home. We'll see how it goes. But I will be trying each night, of course, to go on at 9 o'clock, as always. Yeah, I can put my picture back on here. Let me get my... let me get the camera up here. There we go. I'll put myself down here. Okay, there we go. Yep. All right, yeah, I'll find the little one whenever he comes out. I got Ted and Ed and Littles on the bed. But Leonard, I don't know where he went. Mama Kitty has gotten so much better that I've let her out the last couple days. Remember, I've been keeping her in for weeks because she was really sick. She's doing much better. She has pretty much recovered. So I let her out today again after yesterday. She went out. I come home from work. She came right back in again. And remember, she started out as a complete outdoor cat for years. And so the indoor transition is happening, but it takes time. No, I don't let my cats drive ever, not even around the yard. Yeah, no way. But yeah, I let her out today. I come, and I go out to let her back in like 4 hours later, and it had just rained. She walked in. She was completely soaked. I mean, soaked to the bone. And I'm like, are you trying to catch pneumonia yet again? So I brought her in, dried her off, the whole routine. But that's Mama Bleep. Mama Bleep. All right. So we are continuing to cover the storm here. I don't know what all this rolling is. That upper left video may have just gone out. I'm not sure. We are looking at a situation here where the amount of water stacking up is becoming biblical. I'm going to show you guys. Remember I showed you just a few minutes ago how there was some white spots? Well, look how many white spots there are now. Everywhere you see these little white spots, you see all these little white spots here and over here, that's all 13 to 15 inches. 13 to 15 inches, Doppler indicated. Hey, Heath, what's up, buddy? No, you ain't got no cat licenses in Florida. This is the free state. No, I'm not on a new computer. I didn't win the lottery or nothing. No, what I did, I just, for those of you joining the show now that are regulars that didn't hear the story earlier, this morning I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, couldn't sleep anymore. I had slept enough. I got up and immediately come over here and crawled underneath the table like I was Mr. Scott or something. and I started just cleaning. I pulled all the cards off the computer, everything out of it. I cleaned it all off. I blew it all out. And then I put it all back together again. And it just did a 6.5 hour broadcast without a blue screen. I restarted it, and now I am 37 minutes into the second broadcast, no blue screen. The only difference is, and it's fair to note, the only difference is I am streaming the radar and the middle picture that you're seeing, the middle web camera there from the Storm Chaser. Those are originating on the Lennox machine, and then they're being sent over via my capture box on a webcam image. There you go. The high guy. There you go. Yep, cats are important too. But yeah, all the cats are doing good now. They all had gotten very sick. Ed is still, he had it in both eyes about 3 days ago. He was the last one to get it. And now it's starting to clear up. So I think everybody's good now. Yeah, it's crazy how it goes through. I've been promising to bring Leonard's brother Bill in and start getting him acclimated to the house. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah. Hey, Cheetos. Yep, everybody, if you're in Hawaii, stay safe, stay where you are, shelter in place. The only time you need to fear anything in Hawaii, the wind is not going to get too much stronger than it's already gotten. And the tidal surge, I'm told, is not that big a deal because of the way the ocean comes up steeply. So what they're basically saying is the big threat right now is water coming down out of the mountains. It's going to take out bridges. It's going to take out highways. Be careful driving through what looks like a flooded road because you don't even know if the road's still under there. There was one a while back that killed 2 people, and the guardrails were still there, and the people thought the road was still there. Well, when the water finally dried up, the guardrails were literally suspended in the air, and the road was gone. And as people would drive into it, they would just go into it and sink and go under the guardrail and down the river. And but when you looked at it from the surface, it looked like the road was still there because the guardrail went down both sides, and it gave you that false impression that the road was still there. And it ended up killing a few people. So, yeah, you do have to be careful with that. So water coming, rain is the big threat from this one. Rain, because of elevation, rain is a bigger threat in this one than tidal. The 3 or 4 feet of surge we're going to get is just going to make it more difficult for this rain to find its way to the ocean. That's pretty much the main thing. All right, so we're going to continue to watch this over here because, as I said, it looks a little strange right now, and it also looks like the rain event for the southeast coast between the mountains and the coast. The rain event there is not quite halfway through, and you've already gotten 13 or 14 inches of rain. So we could easily be talking 3 feet of rain when this thing's over with. So I don't want to understate it. Okay, the winds aren't going to be that bad. Rising tide shouldn't be that bad unless you're under 3 feet of surge. It's going to be water that falls above you, and it has to come down past you. That's the dangerous part. We've got rivers and streams out of their banks at this point, and we've got flood warning now in effect for most of the eastern side of the Big Island there in Hawaii. Yep, give us a thumbs up, guys. We really appreciate it. We're on a little bit of a thumb drive right now. Hey, that's pretty funny, isn't it? We're on a thumb drive. Yeah, that's stupid, but it works. And yeah, so we're going to be hitting that. So please hit that thumbs up and throw a subscribe on there so you know when we're live. This is Starship Adventures, and we are live every night, just like tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. But we also came on today in the middle of the afternoon. That's right. We're in our 7th hour of broadcasting today. Actually, we're in our 8th hour, if you really want to get technical. Yeah, we're going to continue on here for a little while longer, a couple more hours. This is Starship Adventures. My name is Ian. Thank you to the folks that have joined us here that aren't our normal viewers, because this is how we meet new people, and it's so cool. And yeah, and VTX, if you're wanting to do it, I would love to talk about your antennas and stuff while I'm up there on the show. I do. I want to talk about pure energy and pure power. That's right. I want to talk about an antenna that actually glows red at the top. No. Oh, I think it'd be fun. Let's see here. I'm looking forward to the Hamfest. I really am. The Huntsville Hamfest, known as the second largest Hamfest in the country. However, they've just added a whole shitload of more space, and it's quite possible that that they'll end up now being larger than Dayton, Ohio, which is currently the largest Hamfest. I'm looking forward to it. Hamfests are great because even if you're not into ham radio, if you're just into electronics, you should go to a Hamfest. You don't have to be in ham radio. They don't ask for your license. Anyone's allowed to attend. You're allowed to buy anything there. No one's ever going to ask for your ham radio license, or they might ask so they can get in contact with you or whatever, but nobody cares. They're going to sell you a radio, but you can go there and you can buy. They got computers. They got like police MDT computers and laptops, and they got all kinds of desktops. You can go there and buy $200 computers all day long that work. They've got all kinds of LEDs, and they've got all kinds of booths that are selling old vacuum tubes and wires and plugs and military-style stuff and everything you can imagine, and cameras and broadcast gear and FM commercial radio transmitters. I've literally seen just about everything for sale, and I dig through the boxes, and they're like, everything in that box is $1. And I'll go through there and find some really cool stuff. I spend my money very wisely at a Hamfest, and I love Hamfests.
Area like the Honolulu line, 310 debris on the road. Showing the 65 mile marker, large tree branch blocking the Puuloa lane.
Yeah, they'll have tons of radios. They'll have repeaters. They'll have all kinds of stuff. And what's cool is they've got it divided into areas like there's a tailgating area, which is basically people set up outdoors by their own vehicles or on their tailgate or underneath a tent. And then there's also going to be an area for used equipment inside one building or one area of one building. And then there's an area for new equipment inside a building. And then there's another area that's for clubs, groups, and organizations within the building. And that's where you'll find the extremely useless ARRL, the Asshole Radio League, or whatever. I forget what it stands for. But anyway, you'll find them there. You'll find a lot of your clubs from around that area. And you'll find a lot of your bigger stuff, too. There's a lot of people that go around to all these to promote whatever they do. Remember, ham radio is not a hobby. Ham radio is a collection of about 300 hobbies. You can do so many different, you can do things in ham radio that don't even have anything to do with talking on the radio. It's really cool how many things that there is to do in ham radio. I could probably print those off, or I can get them printed. If we just want 3 or 4, I can print them at work, but I don't normally do that. I'd rather just go. I'll go somewhere and just print them off on a color printer. Yeah. Yeah, I love screwing with people. See, sometimes, guys, the trolls troll me, and sometimes I troll the trolls. Yeah, VTX and I we go trolling too sometimes. Oh, we have a good time. Ham radio people, man. What are you gonna do? I got some good deals at the last one. For $90, I got a really good antenna that I got right here, and I bought a bunch of different things. I got my first Motorola for ham radio, and we just got to get it programmed. But I've got a UHF Motorola that I bought, and that's really cool. I'm going to mount that in the front of my car or my truck or whatever I end up driving. Yeah, Trump 28. Yeah, I know. He can't be the president again, but that's okay. We've got plenty of qualified people. Besides, he's getting old, dude. You know, the man needs to chill. He's got 2.5 more years of this shit. And I'm so glad he's there, but I don't want to deal, I don't want him to go, I don't want him to do it when he's too old. I don't want him to turn into a Biden situation. And because we all do it, we all get old, we all have to have our driver's license taken away. I mean, it happens, right? So anyway, yeah. I mean, Joe Biden hadn't drove a car in 40 years, so it didn't really matter with him. Yeah, it's time for Gen X to take over. Yeah, okay. No, I think we're fine. I think we just gotta figure out who we're gonna put in there. I'm fine with Vance Rubio. I'm hoping that's the ticket. I do like Ron DeSantis as well, and I do like several others. Greg Abbott, I like. I don't know. I could come up with a list of 10 if you wanted. That's what's great about being a Republican, guys. We have a bench. We actually have a bench of people that can run for office that aren't completely inept. I mean, we literally. I think what's really cool about Republicans is we actually have people out there that aren't cackling idiots, that don't just like have these weird noises always coming out of their face when they talk. And luckily not all of our politicians make this noise coming out of their face when they talk. Could you imagine? Yeah, JD and Rubio, man, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Stage, but yeah, no. Stage, but yeah, no.
This should be enough to get you guys up and out of that chair to go vote in 2.5 years. I could tell you that. You don't want to end up
shooting an ash of the pressure.
Now, that's right. You don't want to end up shooting an ash of the pressure because it's bad.
Parking lot of a fast food restaurant, so the children could use the internet to get their homework done. This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
That's right. You heard it there from President Biden's mouth, or I think it was his mouth. But he said it's the United States of America, for God's sake. And if it's the United States of America, for God's sake, you better believe that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes, the Muslim foot baths. Yes, thank God. Hey, because you know what? They won't put the 10 Commandments in the airport, will they? No, they won't. They don't even have chapel. They're not even putting chapels in them anymore. They want no religion at all in there. No Judaism, no Christianity, no, nothing. No Buddhism, no. But we're going to put some Muslim foot washing stations and also some Muslim woohoo washing stations. Now, what in the Samuel L. Christ is a woohoo washing station? What is a woohoo washing station? Do you wash your own woohoo, or does the Pope come do it? How does it work? How does a woo-woo station work? I talked about this last night. Thank God Abbott nipped this in the bud. How can we tell Christians to go F off and Jews to go F off and Buddhists to go F off, but we'll put in a 250,000 foot washing station? Now, I don't know if the woohoo washing station is an add-on to the foot station or if that's a separate kiosk. I don't know if you got to wait in two separate lines to wash both your foot and your woohoo. I don't know. Woohoo, I don't know. Every time Trey Radel, I've drove him nuts with this for 2 years. Every time he says World Health Organization, I go, who? He hates that because it makes him laugh every time. He goes, well, the World Health Organization, who? Oh, it's stupid. It's the stupid things that make you laugh in life. Yeah, safe spaces, liberals in their safe spaces, but you're not allowed to have pray spaces if you are Christian. You're not allowed to have pray spaces if you are Muslim. Or, I'm sorry, if you're Jewish. Now, if you're Muslim, you can wash your feet in your woohoo, and I'm sure they've got a spot where you can go, and they probably even got a sign on the wall so you know which way to face to get to Mecca. Do they carry like a compass around? How do they know how to face Mecca? I've always wondered that because I've never seen one of these folks pull out a compass before and make sure that they're facing the right direction. Bathwater Basin, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, it's weird. It could be part of the Muslim foot fetish. I don't understand it myself, but hey, there you go. Nothing sexier than feet that have been walking through the desert in sandals. I mean, come on. It's probably they got a foot washing app. What is this? What kind of world do we live in where they don't want Memdami to come to the 9/11 celebration? I don't want Memdami, Kami Memdami, to come to the 9/11 celebration. How in the world, over the years, the 9/11 thing, it used to be all about how Muslims suck. And I don't know if you've noticed, but over 25 years now, Muslims come to the damn thing. It's like, oh, the Muslims are cool now. And a lot of them are. I don't mean to stereotype, but I'm just saying, do you think it's respectful to have a communist Muslim, a devout Muslim that has actually spoke out against both Christianity and this country, to come and lead and be the master of ceremonies at the 9/11 25th anniversary, for Christ's sake? This is one of the big ones. I told you there's 3 big anniversaries this year: 250th, 25 years 9/11, 60 years of Star Trek. There's 3 big ones this year. 2 of them are good, 1 of them is bad. And you know what, Beard? He's absolutely correct. Abbott is correct. The values that you find in the Quran are not values that are considered Western values. That is absolutely true, because the number one thing is we do not persecute, bully, or kill people that we don't agree with. That's number one. All right? Over there, you read the wrong Bible, they throw you off a ceiling, off a roof. You're gay? Roof. Well, here, pick a letter. I mean, literally, just go ahead. Here, pick a letter.
MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
Off the roof. Off the roof. Right off the roof. Off the roof.
MMIW, G2S,
Off,
LGBTQIA+.
off. All of them off the roof.
Of MMIW.
But they love their Muslims. They love their Muslims. Why? Because I don't know why. I don't know. Ted, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Yes, that high guy, that I would highlight that if I knew how to do it. Your comment there is the best comment so far tonight. New York said they would never forget. We promised we would never forget 9/11. We promised we would never forget that those Muslim pricks killed thousands of our people and went on killing thousands of our people with injuries and cancers and mysterious illnesses. When they say 2,900 whatever people died that day, that's a low number. That's a low number. I don't know anybody that died that day. But I know of three people that have died from career-ending and life-ending cancers that were gotten because they worked at ground zero. So when we say 2,900, it's not that many. It's a lot more. It's 15, 20,000 people we lost early because of 9/11 or more. Not to mention billions and billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in people's public and private property. Nobody ever mentions that either. It really bugs me. We swore we'd never forget, and yet we forgot. They've got a Muslim as their mayor. Damn those people. And I don't say that lightly. How could you have Muslims bring down those buildings because of what's written in the Quran and then turn around 25 years later and elect one as your mayor? You simpleton pricks. You have no idea what you've done. You don't deserve what you have. If your God wants you to kill for him, he's not your God. God can do his own killing, if it's necessary. Moorhead, I agree with you. I know I didn't forget. I didn't forget. And you're right, they did. New York forgot. They turned into socialist communists. And now all of a sudden, the ideology that brought down those buildings is suddenly okay. The thought processes that brought down those buildings now somehow today is okay. How does this happen? Yeah, it is what it is. It's making a close pass right now. You can see that radar only covers a half slice. So it's kind of hard to see, but let me go ahead and give you guys a couple of views here. We lost our storm chaser, but he'll be back. All right, here's the other one. This shows you the other half of the island, still with big, huge wedges. There's actually portions of this island that we can't see on radar. I know it sucks, but it's because of the tall mountains and the fact that our government won't buy enough radar sites. That's literally what it has to do with. But yeah, it's making its closest pass right about now. And what you got to look at on this radar here, and let me show you. Let me go ahead and do it over here. Draw. this radar site has wedges. There's one wedge here. There's a wedge here. There's a wedge here. So there's stuff it can't see. You see what I mean? And this is probably a wedge here, I would assume. But this is all areas that this radar cannot see because of its positioning. Then we have this radar. This radar can't see anything beyond this line. Why? Because it's sitting right up against this huge mountain range right here. So it can only see in this direction. It cannot see back over itself. So when it spins around, it only gets half a picture of what's going on out there. So because of that, because these mountains are so tall, over 10,000 feet, these towers don't see over them. And so we can't see what's on the other side. So we have to use two towers. But even this tower has huge wedges. So let's take a look at something here. This is an interesting thing to look at. How much of the island is not covered? Well, looks like this whole area here is not covered. And probably this area here is not covered. And so let's now, let's leave that on the screen and then switch back to here. See that? Those areas are not covered. So if you live in this area, let's say, whoops, let me redraw that. Okay, so basically this area right here, that area of the island is not covered by radar. If you live in that area, you do not have radar over your house. You cannot see what's going on. And that's because of all the big-ass island, big-ass volcanoes and mountains that are on there. So there is actually portions of this island chain that are not covered by the conventional radar service here in the country. I know that's crazy. It gets pretty sparse out west, but nothing like this, where there's wedges that are not covered. It's kind of crazy. So this thing is right here. It's making its closest approach. It looks like your eye is right here, just offshore. This is the coastline. They're probably not going to count this as a strike. This will probably get counted as a near miss. Had this been a strike, it would be the first one, I think, in modern history. But yeah, there you go. It does look like it's jaunted a little north, maybe. I don't know. It may, if the eye brushes the coast, they'll go back and look at it, and they may change their mind. Remember, Category 4 Hurricane Ian struck right here in Fort Myers, Florida, and they posthumously named it a Cat 5. They went back and they looked at everything, and they're like, no, it was a 5 when it came on. And of course, we knew it was a 5 because we had 5 damage, dude. We had 5 damage everywhere. We had 3 damage this far inland. So we knew it was a 5. There was no bullshitting us. Yeah, guys, we got over 50 people in here. We got 31 likes. Please throw a thumbs up on there for us. We really appreciate it. We're trying to get our numbers up. We're trying to get the word out. We're working really hard on this channel. We want it to be successful. And so we're trying very hard to get our word out. So we do really appreciate everything you guys can do in that respect. Now, the big threat we're dealing with right now is going to be the rain. We've got this onslaught of rain that's coming in right now. It's absolutely an onslaught. And when that rain hits this mountain ridge right here, it wrings it out. It literally wrings it out. And it drops all the rain that's coming in this area right here. And that area, because it's out in front of this mountain chain, is getting, all these clouds are getting ringed out as they go over the top of this mountain range. And we are getting some substantially heavy rainfall that just continues to fall. We're seeing 1.5 inch per hour rainfall totals right now. It's a little bit crazy. So let me go ahead and get rid of this. All right, so let's go over here. Let's take a look at the latest we've got on the storm. This is the latest information that I do have on the storm right here. This is the 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time Intermediate Advisory 14 Alpha. Winds are at 75 miles an hour. Movement northwest at 8 miles an hour. And you do need to know that this storm is not strengthening or weakening. It's holding its own right now. It's about currently less than 50 miles south of Point Hawaii. And it currently, let's see here, it currently has 988 millibars of mercury. That means it's a deepening system. It has dropped pressure over the last advisory, now down to 29.18 inches of mercury, moving northwest or 315 degrees at 8 miles an hour, with current winds still at 75 miles an hour. That is the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. The next advisory will not be in until 5 o'clock, I believe 5 o'clock Hawaiian time, I'm pretty sure, which is coming up here in about an hour. So we're going to at least wait for that advisory to come in. Yep, that high guy, I love a Fry Daddy. I got a Fry Daddy. Someone bought it for me for Christmas. I loved it. It was a big one too. And every day I would get up, and before I went to work, I quit eating fast food. I'd get up before I'd go to work. I had 9 bags of shit in there. I'd throw in some fries, maybe some curly fries, maybe a couple of mozzarella sticks, maybe a few cheese curds. Then I'd throw in a chicken strip, and who knows what else. I had all kinds. I even had little pizza things in there. I had everything in there, and I would just throw in whatever I felt like eating that day, and I'd drop the basket. And then I came home. I threw it all back in there again. I dropped the basket. I had a smorgasbord of barbecue sauces, all kinds of different ranch dressings and all kinds of different things. Next thing you know, I'm in the hospital with a full-on gallbladder attack. It shit almost killed me. I did that for 6 months. Fry Daddy twice a day. Fry Daddy, Fry Daddy, Fry Daddy. And it was either my colon or my gallbladder, and the gallbladder lost the bet. So, yeah, there you go. So now I still eat almost as bad, but not quite. Yeah. Oh, I used to buy the little rolled up chimichanga things too. Those are really good. I used to get all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff. Where's my little kitty? Little kitty. He comes in here in the air conditioning, and he'll curl up in front of the fan or the air conditioner, and he'll just go to sleep and sleep for hours. How can you not like cheese in Wisconsin? Well, I'm in Florida, and I don't like alligators. Does that count? All right, anyway, let me see if I can find any more streams up. Give me a few seconds to check for streams. Whew. That upper left one is not coming back. It was skipping on and off, but I don't think it's coming back. So there's DL Scales is our storm chaser tonight, and you can see him there in the center screen. And we're going to get back to the rainfall totals in a few minutes. We're approaching 15 inches of rain in some places. Just to let you know where we're at. All right, let's see if we're getting any news from here. Let's try this.
Sunday night, clearing the island chain. So we are going to be seeing that speed in our favor. It's finally going to gain a little bit of momentum, but I know it's been about 6-7 hours already that we've been with that front right quadrant impacting the southeast slopes, getting the most rain, but all the way to even Waimea, they've been getting heavy, heavy rain. And as we put a pause on this is actually what I marked earlier within the last couple of hours. That's where the center of the system is. So I think maybe the National Hurricane Center is going to adjust where the center actually is. Maybe they didn't update that yet. You could actually see there's South Point. The eye wall was about 31 miles wide. Now it has shifted. You could actually see here's the eye. So it is moving, and with that forward momentum of 9 miles per hour, now you could actually see it's not as circular as you look at the system. We're seeing the eye kind of fill in a little bit. So that is a sign of weakening. So that's good news for us as we go into the next couple of hours. I wouldn't be surprised if that eye wall will start collapsing. So we'll be watching those elements all come together. But take a look, when you look at the big picture here, how it interacts with Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, those outer bands. It kind of was hanging on there for the last 6 hours. We've been seeing persistent rain, but now we're finally starting to have a little bit of a turn as it goes over on the other side of Hawaii Island. Like I said, that's probably when we'll get more forward momentum. So we'll be watching that. We're waiting on this, but incredible to see the sheer size of the system. And depending, like I said, the mountains play a big role with the orographic lifting when it latches on over those exposed areas. That's where the most rain will be. And I showed this a little bit earlier, but let's take a look at the weather model update. You see 5 o'clock tonight, that's where the center is supposed to be. It's
We are going
supposed
to
to be
transport
on
the two
Kailua
vehicles
Kona
to Kona
side, and then you can see it's
from the
going to
scene,
be
leaving now.
well to the south of Maui
Here he is.
County. And then by the
Little
time
Leonard.
we get into the
He
evening,
finally
here's
came out
6
from
o'clock,
hiding.
It's going to start trekking towards
And yeah,
the
he's
west.
too young to
and
be
then
cuddled
you could
with.
actually see
He's
10 o'clock later
still
tonight,
learning how to
that
cuddle.
eye is going to be expanding.
what
It's
you
kind
doing?
of filling in, so it's not as
What you
strong
doing,
of
you
a
little baby?
system. And we're seeing evidence of that
His poor
on
little
some of the
eyes.
weather
He had the
models
eye
now.
thing, too.
And we are seeing evidence
They all
of
did
that
it.
even
I've never had-
on the radar. So overall, we've been in pretty good shape when it comes to not making landfall. Also for the center of the system pulling back a little bit. And now we're gradually starting to see weakening of the system, but still a very powerful system. And it will clear the island chain by the time we get to Monday morning.
Still be
We'll
on
be
the
long
scene
out
because I'm going to
here.
be following
So
the
I
body
know
back to
you were
Kona.
talking about this, Mark. Can't wait till Monday,
you
right?
guys are at the actual sorry, I didn't hear.
Meteorologist Jennifer
Get a
Robbins,
complete,
thank you so much for the comprehensive information
ground-
as we continue to
ground
follow
of each
Hurricane
can,
Lala.
all
Now,
kinds
this
of
truly
smoke or
is
fire.
a
For now,
team
for now,
effort
okay.
here at Hawaii News Now. We are bringing you extended breaking news coverage. We have reporters on the Big Island, Maui County, and
There's also
here
no
on
ETA for
Oahu.
helpful
And we also
on
have
this,
reporters from our Gray Media family who have come to assist us with coverage as well.
That's right. I see Leah Kamana. She is at the blowhole, the
You do
Halona
copy.
blowhole
I'll try to
there
get a,
on East
phone number
Oahu. Let's send
shortly.
it over to her live. Looks like there's some onlookers there with you, Leah.
It is very windy here, and you know, we've had people coming in to check out the view, and then they almost tend to leave whenever the rain comes in. And then they gather back out once the rain goes away. But I actually have a visitor here with me. This is Jamie. She's visiting from Florida. And then I have Maria here. Maria lives here on Oahu. But Jamie, you are from Florida. So you are no stranger to hurricanes and what it can bring. Talk to me a little bit about the conditions. How does this compare?
This is actually the most wind
And
that I've ever
Ainaloa Drive and Treefern Drive. Walking from east, tree on wires. Nothing is arcing or something.
We actually get kind of missed a lot from a direct hit, but we are very close and we do experience a lot of winds. But this is the
Yes, cuddling is illogical. I think that's what he's saying. He likes to get all in my face and love all over me, but he doesn't like me to hold him. That's a little much control. And even in the upright position, I get maybe 20 seconds. Like if I'm going to pick him up and bring him in or pick him up and bring him out, I got to do it pretty quick because about 20 seconds goes by and all of a sudden it's just assholes and elbows everywhere. And I don't know what to do with him. he literally, all four legs just start running like this in my arms. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Yes, I'm talking about you, little man. Such a good little boy. Yes, it's a Category 1 hurricane. That's correct. And we're going to see if it remains a Category 1 hurricane when the next advisory comes out in about 50 minutes. Isn't that right, little kitty? Bye, little kitty. Not a big, long attention span on that one either. All right. All right, in space weather tonight, there's a conjunction going on. When the sun goes down tonight, step outside and look west. Venus and the crescent moon are converging in a glow of the sunset. Now, it may be too late for this already, actually, but it's a neat conjunction. The moon's kind of slender right now, so it's not lighting up the sky that much. The Perseids are starting to calm down, and we are under a geomagnetic storm watch. A magnetic filament erupted from the sun on August 14th and hurled a CME into space. NOAA models now predicting a glancing blow to the Earth on August 17th. The impact could spark a G1 class geomagnetic storm with high latitude auroras in Canada and northern Alaska. So there you go. Probably no big deal. There you go. All right, and as far as the tropics, other than Hawaii, not a whole lot going on. Guys, we talked about this wind shear. We talked about this wind shear, and we talked about the El Nino and how this wind shear was going to be very damaging to any storms that come across the intertropical and come into the Caribbean. Well, those two storms we talked about last night went away today. They literally went away today. They were on the page here earlier when I went live, and now they're gone. They're gone. The National Hurricane Center has canceled both of the invests, so they're gone. And that's it now. No tropical cyclone activity expected in the Atlantic Basin, the Caribbean Sea, or the Gulf of Mexico over the next 5 to 7 days. Yeah, that CME will help you with that BM every time. All right, so we will wait until 11, and we'll get that last advisory. That's a good question, Heath. I'm not sure of the exact answer, so I'm going to preface it by saying I'm not sure of the exact answer. I do know that because auroras are further north a lot more often, that's a very good. I will research that. I'm going to do something I do when I'm not sure. I'm going to research it. I don't know. I would assume yes, but I would have no idea. I do want to look it up though. 47 likes, guys. Come on, we need 13 more. We're doing a little like drive tonight. We're doing a thumb drive. And you guys can help us get the thumbs that we need for our thumb drive. So there you go. I don't know about that. Yeah, Layla is probably going to stay just far enough off the coast that they will not consider it a landfall. That's true. That's true. No, I never heard anyone say that this was going to be the worst hurricane season ever. In fact, early on, we saw that the El Nino was becoming more of a thing than we thought, and it was growing faster and growing larger than we originally thought. And so what ended up happening, we all knew early on that this was going to be a dud season because the El Nino. These storms will not form with vertical wind shear like that. And just like these two storms we were watching, they thought they might form into something. They got into that wind shear and they're gone. Done, just like that. Well, Heath, I think that only works if you're signed in as 3 different people. So you can sign in on 3 different browsers as 3 different users and do it that way. But I do believe that if you're signed in as the same person, I don't think it counts as 2 thumbs up. But I'm not sure. I don't know for sure. It all depends on what you're signed in as. Yeah, but if you're signed in as more than one person, yes. And I want to just put this out there. It's not illegal for me to say this, so I'm going to say it. If you guys want to help out YouTube content creators like me, leave it on when you go to bed. Let our shows play. If we're on and we're playing, you're helping us, even when you're sleeping. Yeah, I think you got to be signed in with different names. Yeah, the eye did shrink a little bit, but I think that's probably because of the interaction with the tall mountains. Yeah. All right, so let's see what else is going on. We are waiting for the update to come in here in about 40 minutes. And then I'm going to probably be signing off not too long after that. I'm going to go spend the day with Mom tomorrow. We're going to take a ride, go do something. And I'm also going to be working more on this system. I brought in another one of the thin clients, one of the Windows thin clients. So now I have 4 computers in here. And I've got Broadcastify moved in here and everything. And that's allowed me to go ahead and shut every last thing off in the studio out there, except one light and my refrigerator. That's all that's running. And a fan. I got a fan blowing in one window, and that way it blows the heat out the other window. Other than that, I don't have anything turned on. Even my 12-volt power supply is powered down. Everything's dead out there. And I've decided to go ahead and let it go until October. I'm going to let this go through August and September. The power bill is too high as it is. And I'm just, since I'm down anyway, and I'm already moved in here and I'm comfortable and everything's going, I'm just going to go ahead and survive the rest of summer here. And then once it gets cooler, then I'm going to go ahead and install a mini split out there in the studio. Because of where that radar is, we have kind of lost the storm, and it's in the wedge of this other radar. So like I told you earlier, it's hard to see where the eye is because we're in a wedge. We're literally in a wedge right here. See the tower sites here? Look at this. It's a wedge. Whatever's inside that wedge is not accurate on the radar. There's a bunch of wedges in this radar. There's, oh shit, I totally missed that one. There's one that goes down here and like that, and then there's another one that goes over here, and then there's another one up here that goes over here like that. Yeah, there's a whole shitload of them. This radar is almost damn near useless. And this radar is only good for the very south part of the island. So we're basically losing the eye out of the radar right now. But it's supposed to be pulling away. The eye wall is very near the coast, but they are not going to call it a landfall. I know they're not. They just won't. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing, little boy? Gonna hang out with me? Huh? Yeah. He'll come in here for like a whole day, a day and a half. And I'm like, you need to go tell your mama you're okay and where you're at. I've thought about it, Heath. I'm thinking about it. I don't beg for money very well. It's not my MO usually. But it is an easy way to do it where I could let everybody help me out with it and I could get a bigger unit. See, the thing is, I could put one in for $400, for about $450 total. However, for about $650, I can get one that's twice the size that's going to really keep it cool in there during the day and stuff like that. It gets so bloody hot down here and so humid that if you put something in that's like I got in here that's barely big enough, you're never going to have cool afternoons in the summertime. It's kind of terrible, actually. It really sucks. What are you doing, kitty? Yep, and he's another Siamese. I think I know who his dad is. We actually, about 20 years ago, now this is going way back. I've only lived here 15 years, and Carlotta has lived here, I think, 17 or 18 years, up until when she moved away a while back. And she's lived here a long time. And what happened was, about the time she moved in, there was people living on the next street over, and they were running a Siamese cat farm. And they were literally breeding Siamese to sell. And apparently inbreeding Siamese to sell. Anyway, what ends up happening is literally half the strays in my neighborhood are Siamese cats. It's a product of what happens. It's a fairly dominant gene. So even ones that are only half Siamese or a third Siamese still a lot of times will look Siamese because it's a dominant gene, dominant trait. And so this little black mama kitty from down the street, she had these two kittens. I think she had 2 or 3 others, and they've all been Siamese. So it's one of those things. He's got huge paws, which tells me one thing: he's going to be a pretty big cat when he. Normally, a cat will grow into its ears and its paws. It's the two things that kind of come already sized. And if you get a cat with really big ears and really big paws, probably going to be a fairly good sized cat. Yeah, Heath, we're going to do something like that. We'll let it get a little closer, and then we'll do something like that. I think that would work. And if nobody wants to do it, that's cool. We'll still get it done. It is what it is. I've got PayPal set up and a GoFundMe and PayPal and money and Cash App. Anyway, I'm working on getting a couple of those set up right now, and they're going to be on the website once I get them set up. I never realized there was a lot of people that will not donate through YouTube because they take so much of the money. And they do take a very high amount of the money. I don't mind them taking half of my advertising. I don't mind that. That's their fee for being a broadcast provider. They provide the platform. But to take 30-something% of, or 20-something, 30, I don't know what it is, something percent of super chats and super stickers and memberships and things like that, it's kind of crazy. So I do want to keep doing the memberships. I'm still going to accept super chats if people want to put them in, but I'm also going to provide several means of donating through the website, and I can just let people know, if you want to donate, you can go to the website, and the links are right there on top. And so within a week or so, I'll have that up and running, and that will all be part of this when we start going to get the mini split. All right, so there we go. A lot of people come into this channel, they don't realize how much time and energy and money we've put into this. This is 6 years on the air, and I've been doing this every night now for over, what, a year and a half or something now. I've been doing this show every single night. I started out doing Friday night TechNet. I started out doing the Friday night TechNet, where every Friday night we would learn how to build a computer, or build a plane radar system, or build a helix antenna for a geostationary satellite reception, or what. Every week we had some really cool, in-depth, very technical, very smart thing to do. And guess what? Never got more than 40, 50 viewers a night. That was it. We were on for 2 or 3 hours. We put out the most interesting content you could possibly imagine, but it just didn't appeal to that wide of an audience. And so we slowly modified it over, where I started covering breaking news, and I started covering things in a multi-screen format. And it slowly just kind of came to be. And then I started covering these protests, and I started covering things every night. I was coming on and covering stuff. And I just decided I need to make this a thing. And so I named it The Sights and Sounds of Earth. And we are on every single night at 9 p.m. And I do take a night off about once a month because something comes up, cat dies or something. And I do take a night off. But for the most part, I'm always here 7 nights a week. And if there's nothing to cover, we just cover the news of the day. And we do it. I put up a bunch of different screens from all over the world, and there's always something cool to look at. However, if there's anything going on, like we were on one night about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had 5 different emergencies going on in all the windows. Everyone had a different scene from a different place. And so it all just depends on what's going on out there. Yes, dispatch, the store's built and it's kind of on standby right now. Here's the thing. I'm not going to recommend you buy anything until I buy one and make sure that the quality is there. And so that's why I really haven't done much with that. I'm planning in the near future to buy 2 or 3 items and make sure that the quality is good, and then I'll begin to push them out to everybody. Yeah, there did seem to be a lot of Siamese cats when I was young. Yeah, lots of Siameses. Yeah, he's laying here. He's the cutest thing, and his eyes are white. I know you can't really see him, but his eyes are white. They have a little light blue right around the iris, but for the most part, the whole colored part of his eyes are white, like a sheet of paper white. And his brother's is about the same. His is a little bluer, but they got beautiful eyes. Yep. All right, let's take a quick look at the news. We've done space weather. We've done terrestrial weather. There was one tornado watch earlier, but there was nothing to it. And other than that, it's fairly quiet nationwide as far as any other news items that have come in. This thing with Iran, I'm fatigued with this thing with Iran. It needs to end. I don't care what he does. It just needs to end.
Will not have those stronger winds, but you will still get that rain, and Niihau still getting a little bit of that as well. So European model, this is what the winds are going to be looking like over the next couple of days. Very strong winds just to the north of the center if it remains on this track. Quite a good distance away from Oahu as we head into the overnight hours for Sunday, and then we'll have some stronger winds that will be possible because of the track. We could still see some stronger winds for Puuloa.
A California actor and producer is facing 24 felony charges after investigators said he used online casting calls to connect minors as part of an alleged pattern of child sexual abuse that has spanned decades. Shane Ryan Gledhill, 46, of Lompec, was arrested August 3rd after Santa Barbara County Sheriff's detectives spent nearly 5 years investigating accusations of exploitation. I'm glad they did get around to arresting finally. Gledhill, whose work involved projects connected to actors including Shelley Duvall, Tom Arnold, Richard Dreyfuss, and Ed Harris, was initially booked on 15 felony charges. The total has now climbed to 24. The investigation began in November 21st when the 17-year-old survivor approached Santa Barbara County Sheriff's investigators about what the alleged victim described as suspicious and inappropriate conduct involving Gledhill when she was 15, according to authorities. The initial report led to an investigation that eventually identified 9 survivors. The sheriff's office said all were minors at the time of the alleged offenses. In February 22, investigators executed a search warrant at his home. Investigators seized thousands of digital files, which underwent an extensive forensic examination. The sheriff's office said the investigation uncovered a pattern in which Gledhill allegedly used online casting calls and filmmaking projects to contact aspiring young actors. The details prompted authorities to publicly release his booking photo. The sheriff's office is releasing Gledhill's booking photo because detectives believe he often used the professional names Shane Ryan Reed, and when contacting aspiring actors and filmmakers. So they're hoping people will identify him because he might have used some different name. They may not recognize his legal name, so they're releasing as much information as possible, and they're wanting more. There's apparently a lot more people, and they're wanting them to come forward. How does this shit go on, guys? How does this shit go on? My Lord, I just don't know how this shit goes on. I just don't know. Legal experts now calling for the Smithsonian leader's job and a complete overhaul of the organization. Apparently, people have become sickly disgusted over the self-loathing portrayal of our American history. People are saying now that they're calling for director Anthea Hartig to be fired after a heated congressional hearing over DEI concerns. A legal expert is calling for leadership overhaul as the Smithsonian National Museum of American History, arguing the museum has embraced a negative, self-loathing portrayal of the nation's past. I think this was part of a broader effort by the radicals on the left to redefine the history of the United States and reframe it in an oppressor versus oppressed narrative. Collie Stimson, a senior legal fellow for the Heritage Foundation and former assistant U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C., told Fox News Digital, instead of looking at American history chronologically with all the triumphs and tragedies, including slavery and then the things that our country did to eradicate the vestiges of slavery, and then passing the 13, 14, 15 amendments and the Civil Rights Act and getting rid of various other laws that were discriminatory in practice and spirit. They take a very pro-reparations, very bad country, we're a bad country, oppressor versus oppressed narrative, and they've been doing this through the entire Smithsonian, but especially in the Museum of American History, because that's the museum about us. We got a museum about air and space. We got a museum about black folks. We got a museum about nature and beauty and trees. We've got a museum about everything natural, that's birds and beasts. And we've got all these different Smithsonian museums down there on the mall, and plenty more everywhere else. But this one here is the history of us. It's not one special group, it's everyone. This is everyone's history. And this is the one museum that specializes in one thing, and that's the history of human beings in this world, on this planet, and in this country. And they have turned around and made a mockery of this museum. Listen, one of the things socialists do is change history. I want you to think about that. One of the things socialists do is they modify and change history. They rewrite history. And that's exactly what they're doing here. The Smithsonian is our history. It's our national museum. There's no more important place in the entire, other than maybe the Declaration and the Constitution, those there at Records Hall. But I mean, as far as that, other than that, there's nothing more important down in Washington, D.C. than what is contained in those buildings known as the Smithsonian Museum. That is the National Museum. And for them to have gone in there and literally got a foothold in there and taken over that place and turned it into a mockery, turned it into a thing about victims and oppressors, and everything's negative and everything's bullshit. And white people suck. Men suck. Yeah, anybody that thinks they're oppressed should be able to sign up, and we'll give them free tickets to one of 10 countries. Anytime you think you've got it bad here, let me tell you, this is the best country in the world. It's the best country in the world, and they want to change it. It's the best country in the world, and they're not happy with it. Yeah, the point is they're not covering it from a complete historical value anyway. Look, there's plenty of stuff in there about slavery. I want it in there. I want it in there. We did it. It was wrong. And you're right. Black people sold us to black people that they made into slaves. Yes. Black people owned slaves in this country. It had less to do with race and more to do with where they came from. I want the history of our country in here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it needs to be presented in a positive, forward-looking way. They've changed everything. They've changed the wording of all the cards. They've changed everything in there, the order things come in. They've just changed everything. I don't want to whitewash anything. Matter of fact, I want the bad stuff in there because it's the bad stuff being in there that keeps us from repeating it. I want the bad stuff in there. It's how you do it. You say, look, we did this and we fixed it. We did this and we fixed it. That's what it's about. But they've changed it. Now it's, we did this and we suck. Hit that like button, guys. We're trying to get up to so many likes today. I'd like to get 100. I don't know if it's possible. I'm only going to be on here another 30, 40 minutes. It's getting hot in here. I need to start shutting things down. Well, Cheetos, that's always a problem. We used to be a society where 60 or 70% of us worked, and that was even before women's liberation. Now we've had women's liberation, and now only 50% of us work. I don't understand it. There's a lot of entitled people that just don't feel like they have to work for a living. They just don't feel like they have to work for a living. And it sucks. I don't know what else to say. It's terrible. Because some people are just happy with mediocre. They're like, well, I don't have any money, but that's okay. At least I didn't have to work. And I'm like, no, I worked and I love my job and I love my work and I love getting my own paycheck and buying my own food and having my own car and my own house. And I mean, this stuff's important. But some people don't care about any of that shit. So I'm glad that we're getting a control of this Smithsonian again. I want to fire this woman. I want to fire everybody that's involved and hire all new people. I want to fire them all. They've also been accused of allowing political activism, Muslim political activism, to seep into exhibits, to influence how history is presented. They've presented things when they went and they found 250 items to put into this special thing for the 250th birthday. Only 8 items were from the right. Almost everything else was from the left. It was ridiculous. It just shows you there's just an outstanding amount of bias there. Isn't that right, little kitty? He's asleep. Well, if anybody gets tired of the show crashing, I invite them to come over and fix it for me. You guys have no idea how many hours I've spent under the hood on this thing. But I think I got it. Yeah, I know. They do. They make it very hard to fire them. That's one of the things they do. They get what they call entrenched. And they get to where you can't fire them. You can't get rid of them. All right, the harshest of the eye wall is coming on shore right now. We are looking at this happening right before our eyes. This is the worst part of the eye wall right here, and it's coming on shore. And the winds in this area that are coming in like this, these winds are going to hit that coast right at hurricane force if you're right on the coast. If you go inland just a little bit, of course, you'll be just tropical storm force winds. I don't know, Matt. It's crap of a different flavor. Yeah, Blue Texan hated AI music one night. He was on and on about it, how it was ruining the music industry. And I told him I'm glad it's ruining the music industry. I hope it hurries up and finishes it off. Yeah, isn't that weird? Islamism, Marxism, capitalism, socialism, these people can't figure it out. All these isms don't work. Capitalism's the only one that works, and they can't quite figure that out. That's true, Cheetos. You got to remember, when you talk about the left and you talk about all these people that don't seem to understand this or they don't seem to figure out that, you have to remember, first of all, they're ignorant, okay? Not everybody's smart. And what they find is that people on the left generally don't have near the intellect. And that's why they don't understand things like what a fascist is, what a socialist is. They don't understand that calling Trump a Nazi is just stupid on its face. they're taught to say things like that because they don't know what else to say. They're angry and they try to use the most angered words they can find, pedophile and Nazi and Hitler, because they're children and they're lashing out and they don't know how to do it. And that's basically what we deal with the left. Yeah, centrifugal force is fun. It's one way around gravity so far. Yeah, Cheetos, please come back. We're here all the time. We're here every night at 9 o'clock, and we talk about it real. You know, we bring it real. All right, so let's get back to here and let's check and finish the news up here while we're waiting on that next update to come out. Should be out in about 10 or 12 minutes. We'll see what happens here. Oh, all right. All right, I don't see too much else going on here. What's wrong, Teddy? What's wrong, Ted? You want to come up here and say hi? Ted's talking more and more. I think he's going to be pretty vocal as he gets older. Some cats that start talking when they're 3 or 4, they start talking and talking and talking. They end up very vocal. A cat generally starts out not saying much, and then over the years they learn to be vocal. But if a cat starts out pretty vocal to begin with, that usually means it. I had one that was vocal her whole life. Her name was Ziva Lynn, and Ziva, she would, yeah, named after that chicken, NCIS or whatever. My dad named her. What can I tell you? She would yell and scream. I mean, she would, so loud people would hear her outside or in the other room. Like, what's wrong with that cat? Oh, nothing. She just wants something, food or something. But it started early with her, and she just became a yeller because when she wanted something, she wanted it, and she wasn't taking no for an answer. I like vocal cats. Wow.
We're available for any assistance that you guys may need.
I am so happy that women's basketball is all messed up right now. I'm so happy. They deserve this. They deserve this. They should have come right out on day one and said, guess what? We got a policy here. You want to know what our policy is? Yeah, the W stands for woman. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but hey, we got a policy here, and we had a meeting, and we invited Webster, and he came with his book, and we've come to the conclusion that the W in WNBA stands for women, and that it's probably best if only women compete in the women's basketball. But they couldn't do that. They couldn't just do that. Yeah, I'm not getting anything with that.
I just sent company 19, but do you want me to correspond the rest of the unit?
Affirmative. I believe they have 2 available teams. Try and contact Captain 2.
Rescue 2, meet us at the entrance of Puuloa.
Rescue 2, copy.
Damn it.
So it's like this railway station for the Puuloa call.
Yeah, I don't see anything like that. Yeah, and it's not, yeah, and they changed the name. It's no longer Boy Scouts of America. It's Scouting America or some bullshit. It's like Scouting America or some horse shit. What's wrong with boys being boys and girls being girls? I mean, remember back when it was that simple? Oh my God, it was that simple. That's literally how simple it was.
Need to respond for a vehicle stuck in water. North Puuloa, Highway 11. Engine 5, Medic 19, Rescue Company 2, respond for a vehicle stuck in the water. North Puuloa, Highway 11, time is 16:53.
19 copy.
It's 17198, Puuloa.
Okay, the forecast is out. The graphic analysis is not out yet, so we have to wait a few minutes on that. They're still getting that out. But I can go ahead and tell you guys that the new one is out as of 03. As of 0300 hours Universal Time. They have issued Hurricane Layla forecast advisory number 15 from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center in Honolulu has issued by the National Hurricane Center. And the Hurricane Center located, the hurricane is centered location right now at 18.7 north and 156.0 west. And present movements towards the northwest or 320 degrees at 8 knots. Estimated central pressure is down 985 millibars. So this is still a strengthening or at least holding its own system here. Yep, that's about all we have right now. We're waiting for the advisory. Let's see, is the public advisory out? At 5 p.m. Honolulu Central Time, Honolulu Standard Time, the center of I'm sorry guys, I'm pretty tired. The center of Hurricane Layla was located near latitude 18.7 when Layla was moving towards the northwest at 9. Some erratic motion remains possible into tonight while Layla interacts with the Big Island of Hawaii. After passing the Big Island, Layla is expected to turn westward on Sunday with an increase in forward speed. As the core of the storm remains south of the smaller main Hawaiian Islands and the easternmost northwestern Hawaiian Islands through the early part of next week. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 80 miles an hour with higher gusts. So it has strengthened since the last advisory. The intensity of Layla is forecast to remain steady over the next few hours as the hurricane remains near the south point of the Big Island. Therefore, steady weakening is expected later tonight into Sunday as Lala passes south of the smaller main Hawaiian Islands. Some re-strengthening is possible early next week. Hurricane force winds extend outward 45 miles from the center. Hurricane force winds, extend out 45 miles. Tropical storm force winds extend outward 175 miles. Minimum central pressure down to 985 millibars or 29.09 inches of mercury. And the heavy rainfall, guys, is probably the big story of the night. It's the heavy rainfall. Remember on that map I told you about, those little white spots? And I said anytime you see the white spots, we're in trouble because that means we're up over 14 or 15 inches of rain. Well, I'm going to draw your attention now to that map again. Take a look at what's happened. Let me make sure that this doesn't need to be refreshed again. Look at what's happened, guys. All these ones that are white, that's 15 inches. 15 inches. I mean, that's, that's a lot of inches. So all these places here that you see the white, and even more because the radar skip here, this is a dangerous amount of rain that's fallen in 24 hours or less than 24 hours. That's incredible. So yeah, this is a bad looking map right here. And of course we'll look back at this again tomorrow so we can get some totals. But yeah, this is a very badass looking map right here. Let's see if this is updated yet. There it is. It updated finally. There's the 5 p.m. advisory. And let me go ahead and click 3 days so that it makes it a little bigger for you. There you go. That's all the information there. Winds are now at 80 miles an hour. Movement northwest at 9. And this is advisory number 15 on Hurricane Lala. What? I don't give a shit, to be honest. Call it something better. It sounds like a music teacher's name or something. Ridiculous. What a crazy night, guys. All right, so there you go. That's the latest advisory now in from the National Hurricane Center. And they found some strengthening. That's correct. They found some strengthening out there, but nothing to be overly alarmed about. But they did find some strengthening within the storm. It's important to note that. Okay, let's see if we've got, let me see if we got something here we can take for a minute.
Across the state, including some 8,000 here on Oahu. So just be patient as they work to get things back online.
32,000 customers are without power on Hawaii Island at the
All right,
moment.
give me
This
just
is
a minute,
live
guys. I'll be
look.
right
Appreciate
back.
it. And no more issues after 514
From the
came
National
to
Hurricane
my
Center.
location.
We'll have the details on
Generators
the
in the same
5
spot.
o'clock
No
track of
issues
the
at
storm
this time.
after the break.
2 and Rescue 2 will be staging at Puuloa for Hawaiian Islands.
Get ready with a jacket this morning. Your first alert weather forecast starts with moderate showers early on.
Affirmative to 0 now.
Be ready for slow-moving traffic into town due to an accident.
There's no active arcing at this time. I'm going to continue investigating.
If I from 25, we're at 9 and Bravo. There's kind of a big river flowing. I don't think we can get across that.
No worries, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We're going to be on for just a few more minutes here. We're hanging in there. I just eventually need to get these computers off so this room will start cooling down.
230-555.
The worst of that eye wall is coming in right now. This is probably the closest pass right now.
Outfit is going off
and
again. I'm
this
just gonna
is
see
some
about
of the
removing the
strongest
batteries.
stuff we're
There's only
seeing
the
right
smoke like we
here
discussed,
coming
unless
into
I
the
remove
coast.
batteries. It's from that way.
Probably near hurricane force winds now on the coast.
There, me and Travis will take care of it.
Gen 5, Medic 19, X2. Again, North Kulani Highway 11. Should be
Thank you.
white Chevy, Colorado. This was third-party information. Stuff with the water rising.
It's 2 copy.
Gen 5 copy. For about 30-second ETA.
10 copy.
Gen 5 from Medic 5, we're turning around. 9 and Bravo is, we're not going to cross that. Gen 5 is on scene, North Kulani, and the reservoir.
Oh, Heath, that's not easy. There's one assignment Earth, I think it's called. There's a black cat in that one. And it turns out to be, it can turn into like a person, but yeah. There's a black cat in that one. And there's also a black cat in the Halloween episode of the original series called Cat's Paw. So that's 2 original series. And then a smattering of Next Generation because Data had a cat named Spot. The cat was actually male in the first 4 or 5 times we saw it. And then in an episode where the crew de-evolved, they needed the cat to be a female for the storyline, so they changed it to a female cat. So Spot's technically a female, I guess. I don't know what you mean. Is that a man in the top left? There's a meteorologist talking there.
Still an advisory for the windward side of Maui at this time, but use extreme caution in those very wet conditions. Back to the news desk.
Thank you very much, Dan. Staying on top of it right now. So yes, Lala appears to be picking up speed. We just got this update from the Hawaii County Civil Defense just moments ago. They have said that the rainfall averages have been 5 to 10 inches, have been recorded across the county. Multiple areas experiencing 15 to almost 20 inches of rainfall.
Wow.
And there are so many road closures in the area that conditions have degraded to a point that concern for the safety of our road and power personnel has resulted in crews being asked to fall back until conditions improve. So we saw with that latest forecast, as you have the storm sitting in those powerful winds really just sitting over the county right now, safety is of the utmost priority.
153081, not LA, break engine 5 medic
Island were
19
being called back to their stations
Murphy's
from
calling
wherever
back.
they were
Said you can
assigned.
cancel, it's fine.
And Mahia actually saw police officers leaving the shelter and driving off. So that is what's happening right now. Conditions are getting just too dangerous for crews to be out.
Target
And that's
engine
probably
5.
the same case for HECO. HECO crews who are trying to restore power, they are probably going to take caution and seek shelter until the worst of it passes.
Because of the advances in technology and the science, we're able to keep track of this storm really hour by hour, to monitor the speed, to monitor the track, and to really see it just kind of parked over in that area is highly concerning. But the hope is that over the next several
I think Odo becomes a cat at least once, a big cat in Deep Space Nine, and I think that might be it, though. I don't remember any others. I'm sure there is, though. Yeah, it was a little cheesy with the whole emotion chip and stuff, but that scene at the end where he finds the cat is touching. I mean, it really sends you out of the theater with a tear in one eye. It's pretty good. We lost the Enterprise. Every time they do a movie, you end up losing the Starship. I don't know if you noticed that. Star Trek 3, we lost the Enterprise. And then they start doing Next Generation movies, and guess what? First one of those, we lose the Enterprise. Yep. I also want to bring something else to mind. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Deanna Troi only drove the Enterprise twice. The first time she drove it into a planet, and the second time she drove it into a Romulan, big, huge Romulan ship. So I just want to put it out there that the chicks only drove the thing twice and she wrecked it both times. I just want to put it out there. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'm joking. She was told both times to do what she did. But still, it's just a funny fact. She only drove it twice, and once was into a planet, and the other time was into a Romulan warship. I mean, now when they get a new ship, they're going to be like, she ain't driving. Okay, no way. All right, so let's see here. That feeder band that's coming in is strong as hell right now. I want you guys to see this. Look at that feeder band coming in. That is, and it's hitting right on the corner right there, right on the edge. That is some really strong weather coming in right there. You can see it feeding in, coming right up along the beach there. Hawaiian ocean view in that area. Paua. That is a very strong feeder band feeding in there. Probably some of the worst weather they're going to get out of this storm is in the next 20 minutes or so, right along that coast. They've already been getting it pretty good. He's that's good. I mean, I could imagine that discussion. She's like, let me drive. And it's like, no, you drove the ship into a planet. It was a planet, for Christ's sake. I'm not running. No, I'm not. I'm not. And I'm not sure if I'm going to run it completely. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet because of heat. But I've got the computer in here now, but I'm using this computer on the broadcast. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go. Look, Starship After Dark will eventually be a permanent thing. But I have to have a facility for it. And the heat exchange rate in here is too high already. I cannot add any more heat to this room. Oh, the Gorn. Yeah, the Gorn suck. Yeah, the Gorn. I live in Florida. I'm already used to big things that crawl out of the water and get you. Who is more dangerous, Klingons, Romulans, or Borg? I have to admit the Borg are the most dangerous because Klingons, they just want to take over planets and steal shit. Romulans, it's all about just, having, owning, manipulating. They're crazy. The Borg, on the other hand, have a single-minded fixation, and that is to assimilate everything they can assimilate. And to me, I think that's probably the most dangerous one. I really do. I mean, if you really think about it, that's probably, of all of the different things out there, their job is not to kill you or find you or kick you out or anything else. They're trying to find you so that they can kill you.
Engine, and utilities.
Yep. And that's literally what they're doing when they're out there
Engine 4, go ahead.
doing their thing.
Control, this Engine 4, we ended up closing off Oahu Street from address 20 place.
But yep, that's the way that works, guys.
Resistance is futile.
That's right. And don't forget it. So anyway, yeah, the Borg are definitely the worst because the Borg are downright evil, man. There's not even a common sense to what they're doing. They're just taking over everything. Tabor? Are you going back to space 1999? The Tabor? Oh my God. I don't know where you're going with that. I don't remember in Star Trek there being a Tabor. Yeah, Borg, no question. Yeah, they're even worse than the modern day communist, really. Hit that like button, guys. We're trying to get 100 likes tonight. Hit that like button, please. It doesn't cost you a thing. Yes, the flooding's getting pretty bad, guys. We're seeing the amount of flooding is reaching the incredible level here. We're only about halfway through this rain event, and we are seeing an amazing amount of flooding here. I'll show you. Everywhere you see the white, places like Fern Forest and Volcano, Hawaii's Volcano National Park, all those areas there have gotten 15 inches plus of rain. She even mentioned on the news that a few places have registered as much as 20 inches. This is a crazy, like a 100-year rain event here that's happening, and we're seeing it everywhere you see the white. We're talking 15 plus inches of rain has fallen in the last 24 hours. This does not include the fact that they've gotten rain 2 or 3 days before this. They got rain, so they're not dry. It's not like they can handle it right now. So there you go. That's the current deal with the amount of rainfall that's fallen, and boy, it has fallen, a lot of it. What is this, gay pry ads on here? No, it's a gay news story. That's another thing the left does. Have you guys noticed they're always talking about no labels, and then they turn around and put labels on? I mean, if you're going to be no labels, you're not going to have labels, then why would you need this?
Of MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
Why would you need that if there's no labels, right? I mean, I'm trying to figure out, there's no labels. So why would we need that?
True international effort to pressure.
Yeah, I guess Biden's got it figured out. A pseudomasculine pleasure. It's hard to say that because you have to like twist your tongue all the way around. Yeah, there's a warning out for landslides. I haven't heard anything about any large-scale landslides, though. All right, here's what the wind field looks like right now. It has, like I said, it's right near the coast, but now we're getting that onshore wind start to come on. Before all this wind was moving this way, remember? And it was going along the coast. But now we're going to start seeing the wind starting to move in more from the ocean into the land. And as this storm drags further up the coast, or actually it's not even going to go that way, it's actually, it's going to take more of a westerly. As it goes off, these winds will continue to come around and come more onshore. So there still could be a little tidal rise overnight, and that's going to suck considering all this rain's trying to get off the mountain. And when it runs into tidal surge and stuff like that, it slows down the process, unfortunately. But that's what we're looking at there. And then boom, it's going to move way up here. And then once it moves up here tomorrow, this is tomorrow. Now look, the winds are coming directly off the ocean. So this is not going to help evacuate water tomorrow either. This is going to keep that onshore wind going for another 24 hours after the storm. Hawaiian spam, I've never had it. I do know it at the Buffet King place that I go to that has like like 150 buffet items. My favorite thing in there is the Hawaiian chicken. Oh my God, I love that. I put it on white rice and I get some of the sauce that goes with it. Oh my God, Hawaiian chicken. I don't even know what's in it. It's like rosemary and oil or I don't know. It's good. Holy shit, is it good. We had a few folks in earlier from the island, but I don't know if there's anybody in now. Yep, and I'm going to mention a few things. I got a lot of folks in tonight. I want to mention a few things, guys. Listen, be careful when you're buying things lately. I have seen suddenly a shitload of scams coming up on YouTube ads specifically. And so I'm just letting you guys know right off the bat, they don't make an air conditioner that works without a piece that goes outside. I just want you to know that. Take that to the bank. Take it to the grave. Take it anywhere you want to take it. That didn't sound good. But you know what I mean. I'm telling you, they do not make an air conditioner without the piece that goes outside, because let me tell you what happens, okay? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. This is driving me effing nuts, okay? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. And yet they tell you, here's an air conditioner that goes in your room and it cools the room down 30 degrees. A freaking air conditioner can barely do that. 30 degrees? If it's 97 outside, you're not going to get it down to 67, I can tell you that. Okay? Even a good air conditioner, an oversized air conditioner, is not going to cool 30 degrees. It's just not. It's not designed for that. Now, it's a little different when you're in dry air, like in the desert, you can get a lot more cooling out of your system. But in the moist air down here, you're only going to get 25 degree change at the most. And so when they say, here's this device and you get a 30 degree change in your room in 5 minutes, it's 100% complete and total horse shit. There's 3 kinds of these devices, guys. 3 kinds, okay? One kind is simply a fan. And they cost between $20 and $40. And it's simply a fan. It's just a fan. That's all it is. It's a fan. It's about this big. It's got a little roller fan in it. Provides a nice flow of air. It's USB. It's battery power. You can USB charge, use the battery, Completely useless unless you're looking for a decent little fan that puts out a modest amount of air. The next one, the number 2 one that you'll see, generally ranges from $40 to $100 or $50 to $100, and that one uses it nebulizes air in the wind stream, which causes a cooling effect. Okay, what it ends up doing is making your room really, really moist because it's constantly pumping humidity into your air. As you know, the number one thing you want to do to feel cool is to dry the air. So why would I add misting water to the air if I'm trying to feel cool and dry? Doesn't make any sense, doesn't work worth a shit. That one has like a sponge, you put water in the top. That's number 2. Those are complete garbage as well, 100% garbage. The third one is $80 to $150, okay? They call this one a room air conditioner. Now, here's the catch. It's an air conditioner because it actually does use a small compressor and it actually does cool the air that comes out the front. That's true. So you're asking, how's it a fraud? It works. It blows cold air out the front. Yep. And it blows the hot air out the top. you achieve nothing. You're providing a really cold stream of air coming out of the front of this thing. But you're taking the heat that was going to come out the front and splitting it from the air, removing the heat from the air using the compressing process, and then you're just blowing that heat into the same room. And it says it can cool your entire room down 25, 30 degrees in 5 minutes. Again, it's complete bullshit. All right? It's 100% bullshit. Now, this air conditioner does come with an adapter. That adapter fits on the back of it and blows the air out a window. You can sit it in a window. Now, they don't mention that in the ad. They don't mention that in the ad. What they do is once you buy it and you realize it don't work, then for $40 or something, they'll send you this piece that goes on the back. And you can put the piece out the window and put cloths around it or whatever so it doesn't leak. And then at that point, it's actually air conditioning the room. However, it's not very big. The compressor does not move a lot of BTUs per minute. So even though it works, it will cool down your room maybe 5 or 10 degrees in 30 minutes to an hour. That would be my estimate. So the whole thing is bullshit. It's complete bullshit. The only one that even is an air conditioning unit is that more expensive one that generally runs about $90 to $150. That one right there actually does have a compressor unit within it. I'm sure it's cheap. Probably would run for 6 months at the most, if that. But without buying the extra piece and without putting it in a window and somehow fixing it into that window where it doesn't leak around it, without doing that, you're not doing anything. The thing itself actually creates heat. You're actually working the wrong direction. You realize that. You're making cold air that comes out the front, and you're putting the hot air out the top or the back. However, the thing itself makes heat. The compressing and fan blowing processes use electricity and they make heat. So while they're making this heat, you're adding more heat to the room than you're adding cool. Because remember, cool's not a thing. Cool is just the absence of heat. So the only way this would ever give you relief is if you put it through a window and you're dealing with a very small room to begin with. And you put it through the window so that the heat can actually be blown outside. But even then, you're going to return so much hot air from outside because it's simple. It's simple aerodynamics. When you put air out, you got to return air in. That's why your fireplace doesn't warm your house worth of shit, because all the heat goes up the chimney, and it has to draw all the cold air in to replace it. Well, it's the same thing here. As this thing's making cool air, it's removing room air along with the extra heat out the back. If you're expelling that outside, now what's going to happen is it has to return air from the outside because we've created negative pressure. So, in other words, it makes more heat than it makes cool, basically. And then when you add the fact that you have to return hot air from the other room or from outside in order to fill the space that it just used to send the hot air out, it's not worth it. It's a waste of your money. It's a complete waste of your money. So please, guys, please do not buy one of these things. That's what we need. Just a small piece of Hillary Clinton's heart would cool your house for years. Yes, I agree. I'm sure Bill would too. Yeah, there's a lot of scams out there, guys. There's so many scams out there on YouTube. And you just, whether it's car insurance or whatever else, just remember YouTube lets anybody advertise that wants to advertise. They don't care. So you look at your own risk, I guess. Now, on the other hand, Amazon, and let this be an ad for Amazon, Amazon is the exact opposite. They vet their sellers. You know you can't buy these on Amazon, and if you find them on Amazon, they'll be truthful about what it does. Well, there you go. I'm getting ready to sign off anyway, guys. It's 11:30. I have been on now for 9 hours, over 9 hours of continuous broadcasting. And my throat hurts, and I'm very tired, and I'm sweaty, and I'm hot, and I don't feel good. All right, guys, last call. Anything else? We're going to go tomorrow. We will go through what happened with this storm and what the damages were and all the info. We'll have all that for you tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's getting dark there now. It is 5:33 in the afternoon there in Hawaii, and it's getting dark. So we're going to lose all these views here in a few minutes anyway. We will literally lose all of our views here, and it'll be nightfall. The power may be out in some of these places. It's going to be very dark. So I think the best thing to do is just go ahead and go off. I've been doing this a long time today, guys, and I'm very tired. Just a very tired today. Yeah, let me find that. I don't know why. I always have to go look it up. But I find it each time. I don't know if I'm not saving it or what. Let's see here. Where the hell is it at? I think this is it. All right, everybody. We'll play a song on the way out. You guys have a good one tonight. This has been a special long-form, nearly 10-hour edition, 9+ hour edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth tonight in 2 separate videos. Thank you, everybody, for being here, covering Tropical Storm and then Hurricane Lala. We've called that about 9 different things tonight. As it makes a very near pass to the southern tip of the Hawaiian Island chain, and it will be continuing its approach tonight with some of the worst weather just now coming on shore. It's getting dark there, and so we're going to lose all our cameras here shortly anyway. But I do appreciate everybody that's come in, especially my members and moderators. Thank you, everybody. and it's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a good night and a safe tomorrow. I will come on early tomorrow if the news warrants it. So hang in there and keep an eye out. Hit that thumbs up and the like button, and also hit the notification bell. My throat's going. I can hear it. It's starting to fail me. All right, everybody. I want you to have a good night out there. Safe tomorrow. My name's Ian, KO4EFS, signing off for the sights and sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, this one's for the red, white, and blue. And the man who fights for it. No apologetic patriotism. Packed with vivid imagery of trucks, beer, guns, women, and living free. Production is loud, polish it wrong, polish it wrong, polish it wrong. When a melody fires for no apologies, a straight fire, let's roll. Woke up this morning feeling damn proud. Star stripes and waving, crowd screaming loud. Donald's back in the game, making America great. Tax cuts flowing, putting money on my plate. Unemployment low, jobs for every man. Black, white, Hispanic, you in the land. Supreme Court locked with justice is true. Overturning the mess that the left tried to brew. Border wall strong, illegals turning back. No more free rides on the taxpayers' back. Hell yeah, Trump. Patriot fire in your veins. Fighting for freedom through the pouring rain. No backing down, no sorry ass plea. America first, that's the way it should be. From the heartland to the sea, we stand tall with Donald leading, we won't ever fall. Patriots rise, let the eagles fly high. This is our country under God's blue sky. Energy born, oil rigs pumping hard. Independent now, no more begging in the yard. Abraham Accords, peace in the Middle East. While haters cry foul, he's slaying the beast. Warp speed vaccine, saving lives in a flash. Criminal justice reform, cutting through the trash. Veterans get choice, no more waiting in line. Trade deals with nigga cheater, making China wine. Regulation blast, saving billions quick. Economy roaring like a monster truck kick. Hell yeah, Trump. Patriot fire in your veins. Fighting for freedom through the pouring rain. No backing down, no sorry ass plea. America first, that's the way it should be. From the heartland to the sea, we stand tall with Donald leading, we won't ever fall. Patriots rise, let the eagles fly high. This is our country under God's blue sky. But look at the fools trying to tear it apart. Socialist snakes with a black-hearted start. 10 pine, 10 walls with a joke of a guard. Putting pads in boys' rooms, man, that's low. Instead of the riots, let the cities burn bright. Now begging for peace when it's out of sight. Somali fraud in Minnesota, stealing the vote. Election scams running, choking our throat. Illegals pouring in, fraud on the rise. While real Americans open their eyes. Are these ICE protests? Stupid as hell. Anti-American trash, ringing the bell, blocking the streets, assaulting the law. Socialist puppets with economy flaw. Blow up dinosaurs, guitar strumming clowns, Portland frog hopping, turning smiles to frowns. They hate our borders, want chaos to reign. Funded by souls, driving us insane. Tampa Tim and his crew, inciting the fight. Now crying uncle when the flames burn bright. Somali schemes, voting dead from the grave. But Trump's coming back to clean up the rave. No apologies here, we're calling it straight. These riots are garbage, sealing the fate. Hell yeah, Trump, patriot fire in your veins. Fighting for freedom through the pouring rain. No backing down, no sorry ass plea. I'm America first, that's the way it should be. From the heartland to the sea, we stand tall. Donald leading, we won't ever fall. Patriots rise, let the eagles fly high. This is our country under God's blue sky. Amen. Space Force launch. Stars in our grass, religious freedom, no more liberal class. Drug prices dropping, saving folks from the pain. I boom and putting us ahead in the game. Tariffs hitting hard, bringing jobs back home. No more selling out to the globalist dome. Government efficiency, cutting the fat, dosing initiative. Yeah, we like that. Pardons for the brave, January 6th crew. Fighting for truth, what the hell would you do? Back to the protests, with a pathetic parade. Anti-law lunatics getting paid to invade. Throwing bottles at agents, obstructing the way. Comparing the floor just to lead us astray. Traffic jammed up, threats in the air. Widespread madness, do they even care? Tampa Tim hiding, calling off the dogs now after fanning the flames. Like a sacred cow, Somali fraud queen. Twisting the rules, but patriots know when nobody's fools. Just a cow restricts, make us cow her. Mighty's ending his gut risk and one done. No city for me, the song said it countertanic. Fingers and gifts, Parthegus authentic. Hell yeah, Trump, patriot fire in your veins. Fighting for freedom through the pouring rain. No backing down, no sorry ass plea. I'm your never Maui view, drugs rub, Regis net, back down.
This is the YouTube channel Starship Adventures, broadcasting live from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. Starship Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on Starship Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is Starship Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, signing off. QSY, 7-3s, everyone, 7-3s.